Okay, welcome to number 5 in our series of videos about the Zeekr, in the Zeekr series, in the Zeekr world. And today, kind of bittersweet, we've got the 2 cars lined up. My beloved Polestar that I did 60,000 kilometers in, including a lap of Australia and many interstate trips, Tasmania, everywhere like that, all around Australia, with the Twig, of course. And she never let me down. So we're going to do a bit of a comparison, compare the pair, Zeekr 7 versus Polestar 2. So yeah, we've got the them lined up, and this Polestar is going to its new owner next week. We're going to be driving it to over east. So Poppy, its new owner, is going to come and pick it up, and we're going to drive together. I'm going to be driving the Zeekr, and she's going to be driving her new Polestar home. So that's the plan. That'll be series of video number 6 in the series. Twiggy, come. Twiggy's coming along, of course. She goes on all the road trips, don't you, Twig? Yes, Twiggy? You ready to go on a road trip and do the plug share photos? Looking really excited. She's shaking. You're very excited, Twig. All right, this comparison is going to be quite in depth. I thought I've written down a list of 5 things. 5 things about the Polestar that I'm going to miss and that I love. And 5 things about the Zeekr that I'm excited about and that I wish the Polestar had. So that's going to be this video. Good comparison. I do love the Polestar very much, but it was time to try something new, for it to go to its new owner, and so here we go. Okay, here we go for the comparison. So we're going to do the Polestar first, 5 things I like about the Polestar, and then we're going to do 5 things that I wish the Polestar had and that I love about the Zeekr. And we're wearing the Polestar cap. This cap has been all the way around Australia up to the Pilbara. It's got sweat, it's got red dust, and when we go into the Zeekr, we'll change caps. All right, so again, this is a comparison video, Polestar 2 versus Zeekr 7X. Not quite the same. I'll say before I start, not quite the same. Polestar's obviously a bit of a sedan, more sedan-like. 7X very much an SUV, tall car, big wheels, 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, air suspension, pocket rocket, zippy round corners, handles like a sports car. That's that one. The Beast, the go-kart. All right, with that said, let's go inside and compare what we love about the Polestar, what we can miss about the Polestar. Getting into the Polestar here, first thing that's different, which will come back to a common theme, is it has door handles. So just simple door handles, quite different than the Zeekr's automatic doors. So yeah, I guess there's something to be said for the safety aspect of that. There is a bit of convenience. You always know it's going to work. Climbing in, it's quite a bit lower, so there's that. The doors aren't automatic, so you have to close them manually. What a chore after the Zeekr. All right, so very much more of a traditional car layout. The Zeekr still has a instrument cluster, but this one, I guess they're pretty similar actually. They've both got one main screen and then the driver's cluster. Zeekr 7X has an AWD. All right, but we're going to be talking about what we like about the Polestar, and number 1 is Google Maps and having that integrated. Having Google Maps, there we go. That's a bit weird. Privacy center. All right, we just missed that. We're actually going to have to do a factory reset here soon in the next couple of days, which is going to kind of break my heart a little bit, but anyway. So yeah, number 1 thing that I miss about, or that I love about the Polestar, that I miss not having it, in the new car is having the Android Automotive, which is quite different than Android Auto. Zeekr has Android Auto, but it doesn't have Android Automotive. So Android Automotive actually, the whole car runs on Android or Google, basically. I call it the Googles. And so you have all the apps, YouTube Music, Google Play Store, so you can get other things in there. And then as well as having Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, they are wired, not wireless like in the Zeekr. But yeah, having the Google here, and the main thing about having Google Maps tied in with the car with Android Automotive is that it knows exactly what you're going to arrive with. So it's for the superior mapping system, and it also knows exactly what the car's going to arrive with. So for instance, their Black Bullock Road is 1 hour and 51 minutes away, 91 kilometers, and we'll get there with 31%. Now that figure is really accurate. It does overestimate, which is good, rather than underestimating. So you'll always probably get there with maybe 32, 33, slightly a couple percentage more. But yeah, I'm really missing that in the Zeekr. I haven't actually done any road trips in it yet, but I will miss having Android Automotive and the whole Google system in there. We'll go through the Zeekr and how it's different, but basically as well as the Google Assistant, you can ask it that. Now Gemini's coming in for the new Volvos and the new Polestars, so that's going to be even better. So the voice recognition is better. You can watch YouTube Music, it's inbuilt there natively. You can watch YouTube there, so it's got, it's all linked to my account. I watch, all I do is I watch YouTube and listen to YouTube Music, so it's perfect for me. YouTube videos there when you're charging. Now there are workarounds for the Zeekr, which I'll show you here in a minute, but again, that's the thing that I miss about the Polestars, having that Android Automotive there. Now the software is a bit slow, as you can see. I'm not sure why that's taking so long to come up, but yeah, so having that Google mapping, you've got the alerts on there with that report, so you've got that handy, and just having that percentage, it seems like a small thing, but it makes road tripping really easy, and having the far superior Google mapping. So yeah, that's my number one thing about Polestars and Volvos that I really like, is that they do have Android Automotive over and above the Android Auto, which is the next level for mapping and things like that. So number one. Okay, number two about the two that I like is just the handling and how it drives, but obviously that is because it's a sedan, lower down to more sedan-like, lower to the ground, and yet there is still something, just it feels solid on the road. I don't know if it's an old friend or that I'm still getting used to the Zeekr, but the Zeekr is much more, it's a bigger car up high, whereas this is just on the road like a brick, and I really do miss that. The other thing is the one pedal driving. This has full one pedal driving. On the settings there, drive, one pedal driving, off, low, standard, and standard you can turn the creep off, and it does come to a full stop quite aggressively, and so that's really what I like. It means you can not use the brakes at all, and in the 60,000 Ks that I've had this car, when I took it in for its service, hardly used the brakes. They're like new, so you actually have to tap them every now and then to make sure that they're working to get any rust off the thing. But having the full one pedal driving, and just the sportiness, how it feels when you're driving it, yeah, that's the number two thing that I'm gonna miss about the Polestar. I mean, maybe I should have got the Zeekr 7 GT, then the handling, that's a shooting brake station wagon, probably the handling would have been comparable, but yeah, so this car, you do feel sporty, no qualms overtaking and things like that. Never got in a speeding ticket, but I have really enjoyed spirited driving in this, much more so than I haven't really driven the Zeekr that much, but from my limited experience, it's probably not gonna, might even save me getting into trouble, because I'm more likely to go faster in this one than the Zeekr. So I never got a speeding ticket, always follow the rules. But yeah, that was number two. The sporty handling, the driving feel, and the one pedal. That's what I miss about the Polestar, number two. All right, number three, the ACC and the LCC, which is the adaptive cruise control and the lane keeping assist is better in the Polestar. Now, I will say with the Zeekr, there's supposed to be an over-the-air update that's going to improve it, but it's also on the shifter, and I've got to say I actually prefer having the gear down here, even though it is kind of such a big presence thing. I don't know, there's something about shifting it like that reminds me of driving like a 1980s F-150, Ford F-150, like it's old school, you know. I guess I'll get used to it. But anyway, getting back to the cruise control and the lane keeping, it's in the other car, in the Zeekr, it's here, and it's one tap down for cruise control and double tap for lane keeping. Here in the Polestar, I can't really show you because we're not driving, but it's just here on the steering wheel, nice actual hard physical buttons, and yeah, you just push it and the cruise control starts. Now, the big thing about the Zeekr that's kind of annoying, and that makes the cruise control better in the Polestar, is that it slows down when you hit it off. Now, you're supposed to either tap the brake or lift the stalk up once to stop the cruise control. Lifting the stalk up once, that doesn't always work, which is weird. And when you tap the brakes just slightly, it jerks forward. So whereas in the Polestar it's a lot smoother when you disengage, either just by tapping it. That's the only way you can really do it in the Polestar. It's just a lot smoother. So again, that's supposed to be an over the air update with the Zeekr 7X, is to make that transition from cruise control off a lot smoother. So I hope, looking forward to that happening. With the lane keeping, that's kind of an interesting one too. The Polestar lane keeping, it'll keep going even if you come into a corner, whereas the Zeekr, it'll slow down both the cruise control and the lane keeping when you come to a corner. So I almost prefer the Polestar, because that way, you know, you're still in control, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, it seems more natural to keep it going and then you turning, whereas the car just automatically slows down. I don't know whether it's doing that looking at the maps, or whether it can, I think it's more just looking ahead and it slows down. So the slowing down the cruise control around corners, it's not too bad, and it might be a good safety thing in hindsight, but again, maybe it's just something to get used to. Another complaint that people say is that the cruise control lets you get too far, but like the closest setting is not close enough. I don't think I'll have that problem, because I don't like going close to other cars. So yeah, that's number 3, the cruise control, the adaptive cruise controlling and the lane keeping in the Polestar. It just seems to be smoother. It works better on the steering wheel rather than the shifter. So it's just up, and like, you know, for going up increments, stopping and starting and resuming, it's all on there. Whereas on the Zeekr, it's a bit more clunky with the doing that bit, and then using that to adapt it as well. So, all right, number 3. That was number 3. Thank you for watching. All right, number 4. Number 4 things about the Polestar that we like. It's just simpler. The UI. And some people don't. Some people like a more intensive screen. There's been some traditional cars that are like that. The Zeekr certainly has lots of options in there, but the Polestar is just kind of simple. It's kind of, everything's laid out here in blocky. You know, when you need to change the settings, that's just easy buttons to do. The climate is down there. Like, it's pretty much similar in the Zeekr, except they are smaller. Whereas these are really blocky. There's no chance of missing them. They're obvious there. This car doesn't have any buttons. So that might be said for the Zeekr. Zeekr does have a few physical buttons, so we can talk about that when we get in the Zeekr. It's something that we might prefer, having a few buttons. They're kind of neat. But in terms of the general interface, number 4 things that we prefer is it's just a simpler user interface. It's very simple. You get used to it. As you know, you can operate it in your sleep. Whereas the other one, on the Zeekr, has a big horizontal screen and menu button down the side, menu button across the top, just endless kind of options. Whereas this is all very kind of simple. What you need, the charging, It has all the same functions as the Zeekr. It's just kind of very simply laid out, which is a good thing, I think. And even that transfers to having the driver's thing there. We've always got the percentage and the kilometers on the screen, whereas in the Zeekr, the battery percentage is on the screen and the range is on there. It's not kind of together. So yeah, and you can see here it has the map on there, which is fantastic. This actually screen is better, like it's bigger, you can just see more. It's got everything you need there. It's just perfect. Like it's got there you can see the range that you have. So we've got 210 kilometers at 51%. So that means roughly 400 and something kilometers. That's doing, you know, that's from driving around the island far. So you get about 400 k's range doing fast speeds. Anyway, yeah, the map there, it's all there. It's quite handy to you can even have it even bigger like that. But I like having the map there and having the percentage and the range there together. It's all really simple. Again, the user interface, simple. You know, you do have other little you don't have many toys in there, like the Zeekr has a lot more toys and things to play with, but you got a few toys and things to play with. You got Vivaldi browser that I've got there too, a bit of play on a plug share. Yeah, so but again, the user interface just really simple, stands out in front of you. There's no questions, there's no digging into menus. It's all there, easy to see. This telling you where you're going with the percentages there. Beautiful. I'm really going to miss that. Makes road tripping so easy. I love that about the Polestar. I'm going to miss that. So almost to our list. That was number 4. All right, number 5. The final thing that we miss about the Polestar. We're going to miss about the Polestar, and it's kind of a silly one. Got the ticket holder there for our ferry tickets when we go on the Sea Link. That is Zeeker's missing that. I wish it had that, because that's just handy to put your tickets there. And then the other thing, nice big glove box. The Zeekr has a glove box, but it's button operated. The curry hook. Even though the Zeekr was designed in Gothenburg, just like the Polestar, it doesn't have a curry hook. So number 5 is the curry hook and the ticket holder. Now I'll extend that out and we'll go back outside. Twiggy's all excited. Are we going on a road trip, Twig? All right. Going around the back, sticking with the simple things that we miss. It's a simple charge flap. The Zeekr's charge flap is automatic, and this button here for disconnecting when you charge, it's a big thing, because in the other one you have to go in the app. And look for it, or go on the screen and disconnect. Whereas that screen, I mean, that button there is simply, that's like the eject button for charging. Zeekr doesn't have the eject button. So yeah, that's a part of number 5. And then let's just have a look in the back. I do like that rear light bar. I'm gonna miss that. It doesn't have as much space in the back, but it is manageable for sleeping in. Only a 12 volt. I miss having proper 3-pin plug, but the Zeekr doesn't have that. It does have vehicle to load though. But now we're starting to stray over onto what we like about the Zeekr. But just finishing off with the Polestar, that has lock too, single button for lock. So if you hit that, it'll lock the car. I won't do it because I think the key's in there. Another thing that I'll miss, the nice snazzy light bar across the back. Very nice look. And also just the general look of the Polestar. Whenever I look back at the Polestar, I think, geez, that's a beautiful looking car. It's not beautiful in a way, it's just kind of, I think of it kind of looks like a muscle car. It's got a bit of more of a muscle car look than the Zeekr. So yeah, all right, we did the comparison of what we liked about the Polestar. Now let's change hats and go and check out the Zeekr. Okay, now the Zeeker's turn. Look how shiny that is. I've got to say, not really on my list per se, but the paint job on the Zeekr is just amazing. So this is the Brook blue with the silver roof. Some people don't like the two-tone, but I think it's fantastic. Zeeker's a magnesium. It's a much more low-key kind of color. I have really liked it. It does have metallic fleck to it slightly, but nothing like the Zeekr, which is just amazing. All right, it's a bit windy today, so hopefully it's not too windy for this. It's always windy on Kangaroo Island. All right, big factor, not on my list per se, but again, I do actually kind of like it, is no door handles except in an emergency when they pop open. When there's any kind of G-force, they'll pop open all the way, and they'll be, you know, for emergency services, etc. But so we're in fairly close quarters. Electric doors, so it senses there's the other car there, so it won't open. Just pop open, and then you can pull it away yourself. There you go, and it greets you. So much easier to get in the Zeekr because it's up higher. Well, physical buttons to turn off the music, and this is one of my favorite features. Push the brake pedal and the door closes. All right, and I can hear the air suspension adjusting. So wow, look at this. That is my number one thing, perhaps. It's not really, but is just the luxuriousness of it. Yeah, so it's very nice. It's very much bigger. It's a lot more comfortable, like in terms of just sitting here. The seats are really good. They're leather seats. So anyway, I'll stop waffling because we want to get back to the list. I'm kind of glad that we're doing it in the evening because that ambient lighting is pretty special. It goes all the way around. It stays on even when you're camping. And that brings us to number one, what we like best about the Zeekr, the new Zeekr. And it is camping mode. Camping mode and pet mode. Again, it doesn't seem like much, but for me, for what I do, for my road tripping and that, being able to sleep in the car with the air conditioner on all night is just a game changer. So my last video was stealth camping in the Zeekr, and that where I demonstrated it, and yeah, no, it's really good. I think you lose about anywhere 8 to 10% of the battery overnight having the air conditioner run all night, but it's definitely worth it, and that's more than paying for a hotel room or having to pitch the tent, which is what I often did in the Zeekr. I mean, in the Polestar. Polestar's smaller too. We'll get there in the end, but yeah, that's another thing with the camping mode and the extra space. It's much more of a stealth camper. Again, it has pet mode. Polestar has pet mode. That's camping mode. Start camping mode. There we go. Turns all the stuff off and what you want. You can have air ventilation, or you can have the window slightly ajar. Gives you that option. Oh, now the rear screens are going down. All right, so we can close the windows and go back to ventilation. You can have the screen off. So yeah, it's just very it's a small thing. I was disappointed that not even the new Volvo EX60 has camping mode, so it's definitely a big thing for me, and I want that in my car for what I do with my road tripping. So we can turn the lights back on there, and then pet mode. Not for humans, only for pets. Yeah, so that's another. The Polestar kind of has that. It'll go down as low as 22, which I think should even be a bit lower, but 22 is good. The Polestar did have pet mode in quotation marks. You could turn the light on. You could turn on with the app and leave it on for half an hour at a time when you went shopping or whatever. You would always have to hit the lower alarm sensitivity, otherwise the dog would set off the alarm in the car. But again, this is pet mode, more official. It does a few different things, and it's there. That stays on the screen to let people know. Lowers down to 22 automatic, and it tells you how long that the pet's been in there. So yeah, exit. Camping mode, pet mode. Number one thing I like about the Zeekr. Let's go. Okay, number two things I love about the Zeekr. Its seats are amazing. They're actually leather in the middle part here, and they're ventilated and massaged and heat. We don't worry about heat too much where we live, but ventilated, I've always wanted ventilated seats, and massage is an added bonus. So there's different ways of setting them up there. Seat massage, you've got all full back relaxation, full back stretch, back relaxation, lumbar relaxation, spinal activation, back energizing. So we can go ahead and put that on. And yeah, and it's not on the bottom, but it's all along the top there, along the back. Sorry, it's not along your bottom. It's only on the back, but still, yeah, it's magnificent. And you can activate it there. You can have it automatic like that for the ventilation. That's different ways of doing it. It's on automatic. And yeah, so that is number two. Just the comfort things like that, where you've got the seats are really comfortable with massage and ventilation. That is something that's really nice. Never had it before. Really like that. It's really good. I can feel it working away right now. Very cool. Thank you. Number three for the Zeekr 7X, things that we like. Oh, we've changed the hat. Look at that. We've got the Zeekr hat on. So now we're doing Zeekr-y things in Zeekr world. Number three things we like about the Zeekr 7X. It's all the driving choices and things like that. So as I said, the Polestar 2 is a driving machine. Just really nice performance, slick driver, just sticks to the road. You lower to the ground, it feels more like a go-kart. This is more up king of the road, luxury cruiser kind of thing, but it has dampening and it has different options for what you can do with the car, right? So with the driving, you've got sport, now it does 0 to 103.8 seconds, so that's truly amazing. Regen braking, unfortunately the strong is not as strong as the Polestar, but at least it does have one pedal. It just takes a while to slow down, it's not as aggressive. Steering mode, I always have it in sport. Air suspension, so that's quite interesting. I have it in standard, but you can do very high for off-roading or going down tracks, and then it automatically steps to low when you're going over 100 for aerodynamics. You can also set it for low when you're getting in and out. And then dampening mode, yeah, that's a huge thing, having that air suspension. It is so smooth over Kangaroo Island's rough roads, having that comfort, and I just keep it in comfort actually. So I need to do more driving in sport, and then I could maybe have a better comparison to the Polestar. But just having the comfort in the damping mode, so good. That's my number three thing I like about the Zeekr is the air suspension, the comfort damping, having that really nice smooth over rough roads. I will say that the tires are much bigger and lower profile. They're 21 inches. That's actually a different rim there, but yeah, that's one drawback of the Zeekr is the big 21 inches. I would have preferred 20 inches, slightly higher profile Michelins, but it's got very low profile Continentals on massive 21 inch wheels, and I have heard of people having punctures. So I'm about to get a full size spare, and ultimately, you know, you could shift down to 20. It will fit 20 inch rims, and then you could have slightly higher profile Michelins on there. Could be an option into the future, but I enjoy having all those adaptability things with the dampening of the suspension and different sport modes. In the Polestar, it's all just one mode, fast. All right, let's move on to number four. All right, number four, as we're sitting here, the seat's furiously massaging away, and number four, ta-da, is a massive sunroof, moonroof, now in the dark, with an automatic blind. With a blind, I guess it is automatic. It's not automatic if I want it, but anyway, with the blind, so you can even have it go halfway back. You just hold it down and then it'll slowly come back, and then say you could stop it halfway, and there it's halfway. So yeah, having the sunroof is amazing. Should probably have gotten in the back for that. We might go and have a look at the back in a second, but yeah, number 4, massive sunroof with a blind. And I really don't like having a sunroof without a blind because it just gets so hot where I live, and so that's a massive thing. A really bit of luxury and very nice indeed. Matching that, the back windows have blinds. I don't know if you can see that. Up it goes. It's a bit dark, but yeah, how's that for luxury? So you not only do you have a sunroof with a blind, you've got shades in the back seat that you can give you more shade and privacy. Fantastic. This really is a luxury beast. So good. Now we go to number 5. Just a side note before we go to number 5, I'm not including it on the list, but I forgot to mention before, it has a HUD. Never had a HUD before. I didn't think I'd like it. You can't actually see it very well now because it's up against the bush there, but yeah, it's really nice. It's growing on me. I like having the HUD, as well as the instrument cluster, which is for me is a non-negotiable must have the driving thing there. So there you can go between trip 2, the heating, cooling, tire pressure, mapping there, because I've turned it off on the HUD, so that's quite nice to have the mapping there. It's not quite as big as the Polestar, so you can have the mapping in the HUD or down in the actual driver cluster. Entertainment, and then what I always have there's the trip meter, and that gives you your average consumption, the duration of the trip. So you can see I've been getting 20.8 kilowatt hours. We've only done 1,000 kilometers. But yeah, so that the HUD, and I quite like this cluster. It's not quite as big as the Polestar, but again, it's a non-negotiable for me. It has to be there, and actually shows the car when you're driving there with the all the vehicles going back and forth, and even pedestrians and stuff. But yeah, the HUD is really important and really good. Let's go to number 5. All right, one thing about the Zeekr, it has really fancy lights, but they're not pixeled. So the Polestar has pixel lights where it'll block out the cars coming ahead, whereas the Zeekr just has normal LED lights. I don't really do much night driving, so that doesn't really faze me, but I do like the look of them. They look really nice, and that daytime running light across the front looks great. All right, so we are going to get in the back for this one. Automatic doors open. See how wide they open? So number 5, why we like the Zeekr, is all the space. All the space inside, and having the seats that fall down, and having the sunroof. So we just close the door like that. But yeah, having all the space inside, that's what I like. That's number 5. Having the space on the inside. We're going to get a fridge. We're going to pick that up, so stay tuned for our videos. We'll have a video of how that all works. But yeah, just the amazing amount of space here. Check out the ambient lighting, and you can even move the front seat. Whoop. You can move the front seat forward. Might come back and do this one in the morning actually when there's more light. But yeah, number 5 is the go. Alright, thanks for watching. Might see you in the morning when we continue the video and wrap it up in the daylight. But look at that moonroof. So nice back here. So nice. Okay, good morning. It's the morning after. A bit more light on the situation. I just listened back to the video from last night and the cockatoos were screaming, so anyway, it's not a very professional video, but it's my feelings and that's what I wanted to get down. So we're in the back, and yeah, just the amazing space is huge. I can't believe how big it is. Pros and cons: the car's more of an SUV to drive, but it's got massive amount of space back here. Moonroof with a shade, and then we have the shades. Look at that. Now that's luxury, isn't it? So this car's all about luxury. So it's got window shades, and then we can actually move the front seat forward. Look at that, and tilt it so that's for the viewer chauffeur bit. See how it's tilting and then tilt it back. So yeah, this car is well and truly luxurious. So moving the seat back, tilt it back, and then if we want to have the blind go down, there it goes. Now it does have side air vents, as opposed to the ones in the center like in the Polestar. I do actually like these ones because when I have the dog hammock in here, these actually go over, although it does have a mesh in the front, and then when I'm sleeping in the back, that's not blocked off, so I'll have more airflow in the coming off there when I sleep in the back. Obviously the seats fold down. So yeah, okay, let's go and have a look at the back that I wanted to show you. So push the button, door opens automatically. How good is that? There's a twig waiting to go. Twigs waiting to go. All right, so close the back. Here we go. So yeah, the cockatoos are all in the trees there. You probably can't see them, but there's hundreds of them around. They're all chillaxing now because the sun's out. And yeah, so they're still on number 5, all the extra room. Got new floor mats here from Novak EV Gear, very happy with that. We can open them up individually and put some stainless steel on there to protect with the Zeekr 7X on there. Before it said JK, because that's how you pronounce Zeekr in Chinese. Zeekr 7X. Alright, but see the space here. Seats fold down perfectly flat, that you would have seen in my camping video. 12 volt, should have been a 240 volt. But yeah, very happy with the space, extra space. There's no locking button, just a close button. But other than that, very happy with that. Twig, what do you reckon? You gonna say goodbye to the Polestar? There's the Polestar, there's the Zeekr. Alright, what else can we say? Just wrap this video up, I think. In the front seat, so there's the door, it closed, it didn't open up more than the Polestar. Get inside. Alright, close the door, or we can do it with the brake. I just wanted to go through the mapping quickly. So yeah, this is what we'll be using. Again, the number one thing why we prefer the Polestar is the Google Maps. But we also have a better route planner now, so that's really good. That actually gives us our percentage there, 63%, and be really interesting to experiment with this, because we've got the Google Maps. Google Maps, so it doesn't give us the percentage of what we're going to arrive with because it's not tied into the car. And then, but you know, it is what it is. We have YouTube music that's gone through Android Auto, so this is all the Android Auto stuff. And then if we go back to the car, we have Vivaldi browser, so we can watch YouTube on there. There it is, a lot faster than the Polestar, smarter chip. We can even read the Islander. Here we go. You can read my newspaper that I'm working on. And then App Lab, sticking with the mapping theme. There we have Waze. So yeah, we really got Waze, Google, and the inbuilt navigation. This is the inbuilt navigation there. So yeah, it's going to be fun playing with it. So who knows, maybe I'll get to like it as much as the Polestar once we play around with the trip. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. This is a really long-winded video of me just rambling on about the two cars. If you made it to the end, well done. We're just about to go on an interstate trip, deliver the Polestar, help deliver the Polestar to its new owner Poppy, and see how the Zeekr goes on the road. And we have the little kangaroo there. I'm not sure if we're going to keep him up there because that was more of a Polestar thing, but the kangaroo's there, and we've got the Twig, and we're all set to go in the Zeekr. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you on the road.